Have you ever noticed that in a world obsessed with applause, attention, and approval, there is one man who simply refuses to play that game? He moves in deep silence. He doesn't seek the spotlight. He doesn't jump into debates just to be heard. He builds, thinks, and succeeds entirely on his own terms. That man is the Sigma male. The world looks at him and calls him unbothered. They might call him mysterious, or even cold. But the truth is, his quiet power is the result of a deliberate, strategic refusal to consume the most expensive and most addictive drug on earth: external validation. External validation is a hidden tax on your potential. It instantly turns your life into a never-ending performance review where your personal self-worth is determined by the fleeting, changing opinion of the crowd. The guys obsessed with status, like the alpha, need this tax for fuel. The guys who follow, like the beta, crave it just to feel safe. But the Sigma deeply understands its true cost, the price of selling your freedom for approval. Today, for the Solitude Scroll, we dive deep into the fascinating psychology of the unshakable man. We will show you exactly why the Sigma male never seeks external validation and how this single choice transforms him from a follower of trends into a master of self-generated power and absolute freedom. The 3 core drives of validation. Why we care. To understand the Sigma's power, you must first understand the deep-seated fragility of the average man. Why do so many men desperately chase approval and attention? It's not a simple choice, it's a programming driven by 3 deep psychological forces. We call these the 3 core drives of validation. Drive number 1, the tribal instinct, the biological lie. The deepest root is the tribal instinct. Think back thousands of years ago. Survival meant belonging to the tribe. To be cast out was a literal death sentence. Your brain is still running on this ancient, fear-based software today. When you post an idea online, or when a coworker criticizes you, your emotional brain doesn't see a casual, fleeting opinion. It instantly sounds the obsolete alarm: danger. Exclusion. Survival is at risk. This is the hidden, biological cost of validation. It turns every casual social interaction into a high-stakes survival test where you are desperate not to be kicked out. The Sigma male, through deep self-work and solitude, has achieved a critical neurological separation. He recognizes this emotional alarm for what it is: a biological lie. He has successfully convinced his inner self that his survival and worth are self-generated and no longer dependent on the collective's fleeting mood or opinion. Drive number 2, the performance trap, the social scoreboard. The second route is completely modern: the performance trap. Our world, saturated with social media and corporate ladder climbing, turns life into a constant, quantifiable performance review. You are given a public scoreboard: likes, views, promotions, attention, and you are trained to believe your worth is strictly tied to your score on that board. This leads directly to the performance addiction. The man is constantly pushing, posing, and posturing, not because he is driven by internal purpose, but because he needs the next temporary hit of dopamine from the crowd's applause. His actions are optimized for applause, not impact or long-term growth. The Sigma male firmly refuses this trap. He understands that if you build your happiness and success on external data points, you are inherently vulnerable to the crowd's unpredictable mood swings. He shifts his focus entirely to internal metrics. Did I execute the plan? Did I meet my standard of quality, which are stable and immovable? His power comes from refusing to sell his self-worth for quick likes. Drive number 3, the unfinished business: childhood wounds. The final route is often the most painful, the unfinished business. For many men, the addiction to approval is an echo of an unmet need from childhood. Maybe they had a critical parent, an absent father, or a demanding teacher, leaving an empty space of not good enough. As an adult, they unconsciously try to fill this internal, childhood wound with external, adult achievements. They are chasing high status, loud authority, and constant approval, all trying to earn the well done they never received. The Sigma male, through deep introspection and self-mastery, understands this projection. He recognizes that external approval is a terrible therapist that can never heal the original wound. He seeks the internal work necessary to self-validate and become emotionally whole. He is not trying to be the hero or savior for the crowd, he is simply the sovereign of his own mind. These three drives chain the average man to the herd. The Sigma strategically breaks those chains. The three pillars of quiet power, the strategic choice. The Sigma male is not simply unbothered. His powerful indifference is a strategic choice, a deep declaration of self-sovereignty. This quiet power is built on three essential pillars. When you master these, you become immune to the demands and chaos of the herd. Pillar number 1, the Inner Scorecard, Unbreakable Metrics. This is the core engine of self-generated power. The average man relies on a scorecard controlled by others, the promotion, the compliment, the approval of his peers. This scorecard is constantly shifting and is controlled by external forces. The Sigma male lives by an inner scorecard where the metrics are entirely internal and non-negotiable. He fundamentally shifts his focus from "did they praise me" to "did I execute according to my highest standard?" This concept is rooted deeply in self-mastery. You control the input, your discipline, your effort, your integrity. Since you control the input, you completely control the outcome of the score. If you know you showed up honestly and performed your best, external opinion instantly becomes irrelevant data. This provides a stable, unshakable source of confidence that no one can take away. The crowd can try to tear him down, but they fail because they are criticizing a scoreboard they don't have access to and a game they are not playing. Pillar number 2, energetic self-sufficiency, no external fuel. The validation seeker is like a simple solar-powered machine that must constantly lean on the sun, external praise, just to function. If the sun goes away, he shuts down. He is absolutely dependent on external fuel. The Sigma male, by contrast, is a self-contained generator. His motivation, drive, and stability are self-sustained. He recognizes that relying on external attention is a massive strategic liability. This self-sufficiency means no one can manipulate him by withholding fuel. The manipulator's greatest weapon, the silent treatment, the withdrawn approval, the intentional slight, is ineffective because the Sigma doesn't need that energy. He sees the attempt to control and simply walks away from the entire transaction. He conserves his immense energy for his mission and his inner world. This makes his presence rare and valuable, and his attention a high-status commodity, because it is given from a place of abundance, not need. Pillar number 3. The Unbreakable Boundary, deflecting noise. The Sigma's quiet power is most visible in his boundaries. He completely refuses to allow the external world to dictate his emotional state. He uses his boundaries as a sound filter. He allows in constructive critique, signal, but immediately deflects all emotional noise, psychological projection, and baseless opinions. This refusal to engage in drama is not coldness, it's high emotional intelligence in action. By consistently defending his sacred mental space, he powerfully trains the world how to treat him. The message is clear: I will listen to your truth, but I will not internalize your chaos. This boundary ensures his inner peace is constant, making him immune to the panic and emotional reactivity that controls the herd. The turn and implementation: daily practice for power. We have identified the 3 pillars of quiet power. The final and most crucial phase is implementation. Sovereignty is not a label, it is a daily practice that builds your social immunity. Action number 1: practice the 10-second pause. This is your primary defense mechanism against the validation tax. The next time you feel that surge, that compulsive need to check your phone for a reaction, to aggressively defend yourself against a baseless criticism, or to seek applause, stop. Take 10 seconds. Just 10. In that pause, recognize that feeling for what it is. The tribal instinct alarm screaming a lie. Ask yourself the simple, powerful question: am I doing this for execution or for validation? This pause breaks the immediate, automatic link between a stimulus and your reaction. It creates the necessary space for your rational mind to step in, apply the data filter, and choose a calculated response of power instead of panic. Action number 2: implement the purposeful fail. To be truly immune, you must actively desensitize yourself to the sting of disapproval. Immunity is built through controlled exposure. Today, do something small that violates a social norm but does not violate your integrity. Wear a strange, bright color if you normally wear black. Speak an unpopular opinion calmly in a group. Try a new skill in public and fail visibly, without immediately apologizing or justifying yourself. The goal is to witness the benign reality of social judgment. When you realize that the world does not collapse because you failed or disagreed, you teach your nervous system that the fear is baseless. This practice permanently rewires your brain, transforming the fear of judgment into strategic indifference. Action number 3: write the value contract. This is the core written document that upholds your inner scorecard. Define your 3 non-negotiable metrics for the day, e.g. complete deep work for 90 minutes, respond only with clarity, not defensiveness, prioritize my schedule over external requests. This contract is written only for yourself. At the end of the day, you only evaluate against this contract. If the world loves your work but you failed to meet your contract, you failed. If the world ignored you but you kept your contract, you succeeded. This makes your self-worth self-managed and unbreakable. These 3 practices are the daily training regimen for the unshakable man. The reward for this commitment is the ultimate freedom. The greatest asset a Sigma male possesses is not his intelligence, it is his sovereignty. You don't need the crowd's permission to be great. You don't need their applause to be worthy. Your refusal to seek validation is not a defense mechanism, it is a declaration of self-generated power. You are free from the chaos, the emotional games, and the endless performance review that traps the herd. The reward for this commitment is the ultimate freedom, the freedom to be truly yourself, unburdened and unbreakable. If this message resonated with you, if you are ready to stop paying the external validation tax and start operating solely on internal power, then it is time to make a commitment. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Solitude Scroll, and drop a comment below and tell me. Which practice, the 10-second pause, the purposeful fail, or the value contract, will you implement today to build your quiet power?